Caoimhghín, today is International Credit Union Day, and I'm sure the Taoiseach is aware of this. Now, both the programme for government and the confidence and supply agreement contain commitments to the credit union movement that have not materialised. As the housing crisis continues, the willingness of the credit union movement to invest in social housing has still not been tapped into. I want to ask if the credit union movement will be permitted to invest in housing development via the special purpose vehicle being developed by the Irish Council for Social Housing, and when the details of that special purpose vehicle will be finalised.
Thank you, Deputy Breathnach and Deputy Casey on the same matter.
Minister, like Deputy Caoláin, we have a clear commitment in the programme for government as initiated by Fianna Fáil to ensure that the credit union are used as this vehicle, and as Deputy Caoláin said, today is Credit Union Day, and indeed it's 60 years of dedicated service to a community, businesses and family. It offers and has been lauded as being the #1 experience for its customers and voted such in the last 4 years. I, like Deputy Caoláin, want to ask when we can see the outgoings that the central bank clearly give a commitment that the credit union were able to participate in this, and yet there seems to be a lack of effort by the government to initiate it. I think it's now time to stop propping up the banks that are charging those lucky enough to even get consideration of loans that are at exorbitant prices, and the interest rates, not to mention the lack of putting a stop to this rampant gallop the vulture funds activity.
Thank you, Caoimhghín. I suppose this is just another example of, I believe, why people have lost faith in the ability of this House to deal with the single biggest crisis facing us, which is the housing crisis. The credit union have billions available now for a number of years to invest in the delivery of social and affordable housing. It's taken over 3 years, the Minister, or Taoiseach, that you were with me at committee, for the central bank to approve the funding of this money to deliver social. Over 3 years. We're 1 year on from that now. The off-balance sheet model that was deemed possible to allow the credit union to invest in social housing has now been proven on balance sheet, where all approved housing bodies are on balance sheet. And until we deal with the real bureaucracy that's stopping us finding the solutions for people out there, we're wasting our time. We've billions here. All we need is a model. We've been talking about this model for years now, so when is it going to arrive?
Taoiseach, please.
Deputies, my understanding is that in response to proposals from the credit union sector to provide funding for social housing, the Central Bank's investment framework for credit unions was amended to allow for investments in Tier 3 approved housing bodies via a regulated entity. Since the 1st of March 2018, credit unions have been permitted to provide funding via a special purpose vehicle to Tier 3 AHBs for the provision of social housing. This change in regulation could facilitate a combined sector investment in Tier 3 AHBs of close to 700 million. To put this figure into context, to the end of 2017, total lending from the Housing Finance Agency to AHBs was 350 million. So under current regulations, credit unions are free to set up special purpose vehicles and invest in Tier 3 approved housing bodies subject to certain limits.